When you strip the game of poker down to the core, it is a battle for the blinds and antes. The blinds and antes dictate how many hands you should play and even how much you should invest in a hand. Let's look at an extreme example. Let's say you were in a no-limit tournament that never had any blinds or antes. In this situation, why would you ever play a hand unless it was precisely pocket aces? You could simply wait for aces and hope that someone else would play with you. However, if the others have any understanding of poker at all, they would do exactly the same thing. The only time there would ever be a flop would be if two players were dealt aces in the same hand. Let's look at the other side of that extreme example. Let's say that you were playing in a one-table, 10-handed tournament that started you off with 2,000 in chips. Blinds of 500,000 with 1,000 ante. Is there any hand you could justify folding in this situation? Of course not. Half of your money would go towards the ante, so if you folded, you'd be all in on the very next hand for the ante. Chances are, since everyone else would likely play their hand, that would leave you heads up with 1,000 in chips versus your opponent, who won the last pot, who now have 19,000 in chips. Neither of those two blind and ante structures make for a very interesting poker game. In a typical televised tournament, you start with 10,000 in chips, and the blinds start at 25.50 with no ante. Here you can see how some of the blinds and antes typically escalate. And so on until one player is left with all the chips. Each level lasts anywhere from 1 hour to 2 hours, depending on the buy-in for the tournament. Smaller buy-in tournaments ranging from $100 to $300 will generally use 20 or 30-minute levels, which make for a much quicker finish. In order to maintain your starting stack, you'll need to win at least one set of blinds and antes per round. Since the blinds and antes continue to increase throughout the tournament, though, that simply wouldn't be good enough to survive. Eventually, a 10,000 stack would be in jeopardy, so you'll actually have to do better than breaking even. You'll have to fight a little harder to win more than your fair share of blinds and antes. Premium hands coming to you in large pots are few and far between. Tournaments are won in the trenches by aggressively going after lots of little pots. The trick, of course, is learning how to do that without becoming reckless. Work through this entire section and you'll be one step closer to becoming a tournament winner.